Good morning, all. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Whew, seems like it's been a while. I'm going to give you all a couple of seconds to come on in, and we're going to get started with our deep breathing, and we're going to get right into this topic that we are discussing. I am bringing on a guest. I'm going to speak first via the DSM and what the DSM talks about as far as you may know it as seasonal affective disorder, SAD. That's what it was called. And now it is been called something else. So we're going to go into that, but I first want to start with our deep breathing. Okay, and so you know how we do it. It's been a while. It has been a while. We do our 4 counts in. Let me turn my little light on. There we go. We do 4 counts in, 4 counts out, and we do it how many times? 3. All right. So we need our deep breathing. Good morning, Mike. How are you? We need our deep breathing, okay? Definitely in this cold weather. If you are in the northern part of the United States, you need your deep breathing, okay? So let's do our breathing. So let's go. That's one. I learned a new technique, breathing technique too, that I'm going to teach you all. It may be a little easier than trying to count and hold and then exhaling, but we're not going to do it today. We're just going to do our normal way. Let's go to our second one. Hold it. That's our second one. And then our third deep breath in. All right. That is numero tres. Okay. So, how was everyone's holiday? If you don't celebrate holidays, your break, because I'm sure you didn't have to work. Did you have a nice time with family and friends gathering? It's always nice to have that time, right? To be able to spend time with our loved ones, friends and family, co-workers. A lot of people did Friendsgiving and just gathering, right? It helps you to feel much better, right? That social interactive interaction is so key. So hope you all enjoyed it. Now we are amping up or revving up again for Christmas. Okay. So, and now with all these emails that we are getting regarding Cyber Monday. So who did shopping? Who didn't do shopping? I survived. I survived. I did not go out to a store and I did not buy from a store. I supported a Black business, but I did not go to. Yes, I did. I went to a store on Saturday. I did. I bought one thing. It was like $9 and something. Zero shopping. I know. Are you saying you did zero shopping, Mike? I did. Yeah. Like I say, I did, but it was like some thrifting stuff. So it wasn't, like I said, it was $9 and something, at the store that I went to. And then I probably spent like $75 at supporting another vendor that I know. Okay, so I'm going to get right into this topic. Oh, I didn't welcome you all, my royal ones. It's been a minute. I'm trying to get my phone to sit up here right so that y'all can continue to hear me. Can you hear me okay? All right. So welcome, 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 royal ones. I don't want to forget about you royal ones. Okay. So we're going to get started right into this topic today. So It is one that is definitely needed. We're talking about SAD, which is seasonal affective disorder. That is the name it has been called previously. And now it is major depressive disorder. I call it MDDSP, major depressive disorder with seasonal pattern. All right. So the DSM 5 has now changed it to major depressive disorder, which in the past, it wasn't so much thought of as a major depressive disorder, but that's what it is. It has the symptoms. It is a major depressive disorder. It just is seasonal. Okay. So I'm going to talk a little bit from the DSM, and then we have a clinical herbalist, because I'm going to talk about some treatments, and some of the treatments, well, one of the treatments would be antidepressants, right? But I am one who I'm a firm believer in herbs and in a naturalistic way of doing things. And so we're going to bring on a clinical herbalist who is going to talk from her perspective and tell more about what she knows as far as, this seasonal depression and ways to prevent it. I'm going to talk about symptoms really fast so I can bring her on. Okay. So as far as MBDSP, seasonal major depressive disorder, seasonal pattern. First of all, it typically occurs in 5% of the United States population, which is a pretty large population. It is pretty large. Good morning, Trina, and good morning, Big Sis. Large population, 5% is affected by this major depressive disorder. I'm going to say MDDSP, okay? And so it typically hits those who are furthest away from the equator. We know the equator is where the sun is at the fullest. And so those who are furthest away from the equator are lacking sun in the periods of fall through winter. So the DSM talked about 40%, it being the last 40% of the year, which is typically September-ish, right, through February, all the way up until spring starts to pop out, which spring, it depends on where you live, right? Spring is, I would say, March-ish, right? And so it's like those last 5-6 months, 40% of the year, okay, where people experience this major depressive disorder with these symptoms. Okay, so that's a long period of time to experience this seasonal, pattern of depression. Okay, it talked about what happens is it's linked to our biochemical imbalance during this time in the brain due to the lack of sunlight. So as if I'm in Chicago, and right now there is no sun, and no telling when we will have sun again, right? So without that sun, you're not getting your proper vitamin D levels. That's why if you go to the doctor, have your vitamin D levels checked, most of our levels will be low, right? Unless we're doing something strategically to get our levels up. And that's because of the lack of sun. So it interferes with our daily functioning, and others will be able to see that, right? You will be able to see that your daily functioning is a little bit different than what it was in the summer months. Now, when I looked at the DSM, it did say some people have seasonal pattern depression in the summer, right? Very few. But there are some who have seasonal pattern depression when the sunlight is out. But we're talking about fall through winter, more like September-ish when fall starts. And really not so much September, because September is, we still have pretty much sun going on. Another thing is when we switch those clocks, right, it kind of tends to throw off our balance, our internal balance. And so we have dark on dark. We're waking up, it's dark. We're coming home, it's dark, right? So we're getting such, we're not getting much light at all. So let me tell you about some of the symptoms, and then I know Mandy is going to come in and she's going to talk more detail about some of these symptoms, some of the treatment things that she has. She's a clinical herbalist, and I'm going to tell you a few of the symptoms and treatments via the DSM. So some of the symptoms: one, feeling sad or having depressed mood. And here's the thing, like, this can be from mild to severe. Just like if you went to your therapist and and this is something that you would have either a doctor, therapist, clinical herbalist diagnose, right? And it's going to be based on, they're going to spend some time with you to see patterns. They're going to spend time with you to really hear what is happening, to see what symptoms are present. And it can be from mild to severe because it is a major depressive disorder. And that's just how we, as a therapist, diagnose. It can be from mild to severe. And so, you would have an assessment to fill out, and then it would tell us where you are there. So feeling sad or having depressed mood, and that is more than 2 weeks consistently. Okay. Loss of interest or pleasure in activities you once enjoyed. So I don't know how many have been diagnosed before with a major depressive disorder, but these are the same thing, right? These are the same thing that we use to diagnose for a major depressive disorder. Okay. Changes in appetite, craving more carbs, and typically eating more. And a lot of times you may be eating more because you're indoor more. It's cold outside, it's not a lot of sun. Who wants to bundle up and go outside? And then, that depressed mood is there. So a lot of times just staying indoors more, craving those carbs, French fries, those carbs, breads, things like that. And then around this period of time where we're eating a lot and gathering a lot, carbs are very prevalent, right? So pay attention to that. Pay attention to these symptoms. If you are having these symptoms, pay attention to them. And if you notice that you are having, there are 9, it's 7 out of 9 of these for the last or consistent 2 weeks in a row, you may want to see a therapist or go to your PCP or a clinical herbalist. Good morning, Lisa. Change in sleep, sleeping more. Well, that kind of makes sense, right? First of all, and it's kind of hard to determine. That's why you need a professional to determine that, because you may be sleeping more because it is darker, right? But then you could be sleeping more because it's darker and there's depression there and you're not paying attention to it, right? So pay attention to what is going on inside of you. Loss of energy, fatigue, just really feeling kind of like, blah, right? Not having a lot of energy or feeling like you want to move around. It's just your energy is low. Increase in purposeless physical activity. What's purposeless physical activity? Things such as you might notice your pacing, inability to sit still, slower speech, and this would be observable by others. Others would observe this about you, like, you could be moving slower. Your speech could be softer, monotone, just kind of, base level. So pay attention to that as well. Feeling worthless or guilty. That is a symptom of MDD. Difficulty thinking, concentrating, or making decisions. That is a symptom of MDD as well. And then thoughts of death or suicide. And clearly, if you have that, thoughts of death or suicide, you definitely want to either call 911, reach out to a licensed professional or your PCP, medical doctor, someone to get, help with that thoughts of death or suicide. It could be suicidal ideation, but you want to get someone to be able to help you with that. So those are the 9 symptoms. And the purpose of doing this is it's educational, right? This is not to be considered a therapy session. It doesn't replace therapy. This is just giving you some education on if you are experiencing any of these symptoms, that you should be in touch with a professional, be it a medical doctor, be it a therapist, be it a clinical herbalist. You want to take care of that, all right? That major depressive disorder with seasonal pattern. All right, treatments. I'm gonna do this real fast, and we're gonna bring Mandy on. Light therapy. So the most effective way is for light therapy, sitting for 20 plus minutes a day and using it every day during the fall and winter, and especially during the December through February months. So that is when when if you have this MDDSP, you experience it the most is between January and February. And this is me personally, not in the DSM, but I thought about that and I said, why would it be in January and February? December is a winter month as well. Well, you're doing things, you're more active, you got Christmas, you're engaged. You may be buying gifts. You're moving, because it's a holiday, or you're moving because you're just doing things in the spirit of the, holiday, right? And so January and February comes along. There is no holiday there. Things start to slow down. Social activities really slow down because it's cold outside. And a lot of people aren't gathering during that time. I've heard people who have birthdays, they really don't even have birthday parties during that time because they like, nobody's going to come, right? So that's my theory as to why January and February, it really affects you more so then. So that light therapy, you can look, they have them on, I don't even want to say it. You can find a light, it's called a therapy lamp, okay? And you can use that 20 minutes a day. What it does is mimics the sun, right? We know the sun has its own natural rhythm and its own natural rays, but this lamp is created to give you that bright light, which is going to actually mimic what the sun does. Okay, so that's a treatment. Of course, if you go to the doctor, they're going to say an antidepressant. Okay, that's why we have Lisa. That's why we have Mandy coming on, and she's going to talk about some other ways, herbal ways of instead of the antidepressants. We got talk therapy. CBT is definitely one to be used if maybe experience this MDDSP. We got herbs and vitamins. We have increased exposure to sunlight. So when there is some sunlight out, getting out there, even when it's kind of like this dreary, right? It's okay. Get some fresh air, moving around, just getting out of the house, movement. Proper sleep, getting proper sleep. Having social interactions. I can't stress how important that is. Your social interactions. It may be volunteering. It could be with family. It could be with friends. But don't neglect your social time with others. Okay, there you go. Yes, Lisa, I like it. Music and dancing, right? Yes, absolutely. So movement, keeping your same routine, that helps as well. And just keeping active, exercise is definitely one. All right. So now I brought to you um, um, the DSM, the diagnosis from the DSM. And now we're going to have, good morning, Shiante. We're going to have Miss Mandy come on. And I've talked for longer than what I was supposed to. So we're going to bring Mandy on. Let's add up here.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning to you. And Mandy is a clinical herbalist. And so she's going to
Practicing
talk and tell you
clinical herbalist. Yeah.
practicing, practice clinical herbalist. Okay, gotcha. So, I talked a little bit, So now go
Yeah, and you
ahead.
covered you covered a lot of the things that I was going to discuss. Even if it's in the wintertime and there's a little bit of sunlight, still make a point to go out and let it, you know, hit your face. And definitely everybody should increase their, if they're not already taking a vitamin D, increase it up to at least 5,000 milligrams a day, because the sun is how we absorb it in through our skin and our eyes. Even so, even wearing sunglasses is detrimental to our absorption. But yeah, you really hit base on all of the things that we need
I'm
to be
sorry.
doing for ourselves, and sometimes um, going like mind over matter with a lot of things too. Um, we can do a lot of things, but sometimes we have to proactively tell ourselves, pull yourself out of the sadness. Now, not only is the lack of sun and the darkness, but this time of year, a lot of people deal with the sadness because lack of interaction with people during the holidays. A lot of people have lost people this time of year, and so there's a lot to take into consideration when dealing with your sadness. But whatever you do, seek a therapist, someone like you, someone that can help people work through. Um, I am I'm a huge advocate for therapy. I'm When you eat healthy, you have somebody you can vent to, because if you have someone that you can talk to without them being judgmental, or they can honestly listen. Sometimes I feel like maybe a lot of us need to work on learning how to be a better friend for people who struggle with this. Um, I don't have depression myself, but there are around the holidays, I will myself personally get upset, and I know what I need to do in order to help that. So the number that you said, 5%, I I feel it's much higher than that.
I do too.
Considering all the people that I deal with, um, I don't have very many that don't deal with sadness and depression. So
Mhm.
it may get exponentially worse during this time of year for those types of people. But the good news is that when you help your body with depleted levels of like magnesium, vitamin D, even just a lot of vitamins, because we're not consuming the same types of foods in the winter versus the summer. I mean, you notice that how many oranges and apples are we picking up and eating in the winter versus in the summer? And so then um, our body, it's quite the miraculous machine, really. And the better you take care of it. For instance, like your car, if you get regular oil changes and you change the oil properly all the time, it's going to run forever and it's going to run great. But if you neglect your vehicle, you don't give it oil changes, then it's not going to run very well and it's going to give up on you. Same with our body. It has the ability to heal itself, but um, a lot. Have you ever? Maybe not, and maybe that's a personal question. Okay, so I'll skip that one.
No,
Have
ask
you
it.
ever met, well, have you ever met somebody who's used a pharmaceutical medication for sadness? Have you
Of
ever
course.
dealt with somebody?
Of
Okay,
course.
and I honestly have yet to speak with somebody who said that it's helped them. Um, it does a lot more damage, and
Hmm.
so there are a lot of more natural ways that we can combat our mental illness. And the craziest part of it is that a lot of our mental health is within our stomach. It's So when we heal our gut, we heal our mental health.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen a lot of positive changes in people who've used lion's mane, which is an nootropic, kind of like rosemary. It goes in and it repairs the brain, basically. It helps with your focus, your memory, and it rebuilds. It builds brain cells. So um, that will help you repair the damage, from the sadness. And a lot of one thing that I'd like to point out is don't try and medicate, you know, right off the bat. Try a lot of like other things first, such as like using magnesium, because our bodies can't handle, and especially if it's unnecessary. Like, um, I could tell you, like, valerian root
Mm-hmm.
is like Xanax. I don't know if anyone's ever used Xanax, but it's calming. It helps. Um, except valerian root isn't as toxic to our brain. Um, just kind of relaxes you and helps keep your mind off of things. But if you, I don't feel like medications and herbs are for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like, um, I don't think that you should try and sedate yourself until after you've done a few steps. Like you've tried with depleted levels, you've seeked a therapist, and then you realize that, you know, something is necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Because whatever that isn't enough. The vitamin D, the therapy, then it can be an imbalance. And then I would say seek herbs. And if herbs aren't enough, then maybe medications are okay, but I feel like once you heal your gut and you start working with your depleted levels within your body, you're going to feel a difference. You change your diet. I've probably said this a million times, but um, our diet really is everything. And sugar is your biggest enemy. Um, it's going to it's going to make sadness worse. You think, oh, I'm going to eat this sweet sugar candy and it's going to make me feel really good. But in return, it doesn't. It's painful. It doesn't help your body at all. So um, I always recommend everybody starting with a paracleanse because so many things are related to um, parasites. And me and my sister were talking about this yesterday. Everybody thinks, oh, well, parasites, they're just worms. Well, there's more than just worms. There's things that will embed into your brain and cause mental health issues, and they burrow through our whole body. So doing a complete parasite cleanse eliminates a lot. And then you can work on using something like lion's mane to build your brain. And then rosemary is another nootropic.
Can
Reishi,
about that para cleanse?
yeah, do what?
I wanted to ask you about the para cleanse. Like
Go ahead.
how long is it, right? And then are you eating or are you drinking with that? Are you eliminating meat? Like when you're doing the cleanse, what is that? How do you use it?
There's so many different recommendations online. A lot of people say, I mean, I am an advocate for cutting out as much sugar of your life as possible. Definitely no pork. I get so much backlash from this one, but pork is so bad for our bodies. Have you ever seen like pork fat on the counter? It's a solid. It's not moving through our body. So when you're doing the para cleanse, the better you eat, obviously, the better it's going to work. The We're constantly exposed to them and they're constantly impacting us. So the length of the para cleanse, one on my bottle, it's 3 weeks on, 1 week off. You start during the full moon when they're the most active. But I personally like to use the para cleanse more frequently. I use it um, almost all year. Um, but within doing that, I've also healed 14 different diseases that I've had and within my body. And um, I don't use as high of a dose. I just use like 5 or 10 drops a day. It depends. Like if we go out to eat, which I try not to do because that's disgusting. I always feel nauseated and sick from it. So I will up my Paracleanse, and um, I most likely know that the reason for the upset stomach is because of the food.
mm,
But so the Paracleanse is going to remove. See, when they're in our body, they're also going to the bathroom in our body, and they're
mm,
releasing toxins. Okay. And so that messes with us as well. That
mm,
chemical imbalance within us. So once you remove them, you I remember thoughts and how prior to the cleanse, and I will say that you're much more clear-headed once your body is detoxed of the heavy metals, of the parasites. Once you've cleansed your body, things become clearer. I don't know really how to explain it, but um so and during this time of year, because we're going to talk about we're seasonal depression, our hormones can be thrown off. I don't know if I didn't hear you mention the hormones, but um, reishi mushroom is one of the best at balancing our hormones. It's because it's an adaptogenic mushroom, so it's going to go in there and help, so we're not feeling so much sadness. Lemon balm is great for younger children who might be dealing with it, all the way up to, us. Kind of a versatile, safe for any age. The only thing that with lemon balm is that some people can get sleepy and some people don't. So I would say lemon balm more for the hyperactive sadness, the ones that they can't stay focused and they're just like running around and kind of losing it, and just don't know what to do with themselves. That's a good one. But like blue vervain, that is really good for stabilizing your mood and balancing you without sedation. Um, Another one that I guess it really depends on the state in which you live in, that has been proven to help people is cannabis. It doesn't have to be smoked. It can be eaten or used in drops or even a CBD. But cannabis is great for improving the mood. You just have to be selective with the strain. And then something I don't make, but I know that it's really good for is passion flower,
mm,
because this one, it's really good at going in and helping with the repetitive thoughts. Some people like a broken record, and that's what will throw them into they can't stop thinking about something, and then they find themselves not showering and just going through this isolation and sadness, and then the thoughts just become overwhelming and it gets even worse for them. Some other tips that I suggest is you know you force yourself. It really is a mind over matter. um and I know that might sound difficult, but I've been through some really tragic things, and I might feel it, but I tell myself, nope, we're not allowing this. We're not allowing that to. And so you're your own advocate a lot of times, you know,
mm.
um, for your own health. You reach out to somebody, um, and then I would also like to say that I'm a great listener. I would much rather listen to you with whatever you're dealing with than to see something really sad on Facebook about you, And
Mm.
um, I even though I have so many clients, I still try, and I'm in herbalism. I often find myself doing the similar work as you, and um, talking with people, them through what they're going through, and but it helps me understand them better, what works better. Do you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like what herb works best when, but Um,
Let me ask
my
a
throat's really
question.
dry today.
Oh, that's okay.
Yes.
So Shiante asked, are these things that you do every day? So when you were talking about, I guess, the mushrooms, the cannabis,
Hmm.
would it be, is it like because I do a clinical plan, right? So is that the same thing you do, like a clinical treatment plan with your clients, to decide what it is that they would need?
We're all so completely different. Some people do need to wake up in the morning and take their medication and carry on with their day. But most of them are and as needed. Um, because we don't, and that's the problem with pharmaceuticals is they want you to take it every single day, no matter what. Whereas with plants, most of them aren't as needed. So, say today is fabulous and wonderful, and I don't really need anything to sedate me or calm me or relax me or change my thought process, then I don't need it. And so, whereas with the pharmaceutical, they would be like, no, you have to take it because if you don't, then you're going through withdrawals and it's just horrible on your body. That's not like with plants. Plants are, if you don't take the plant, I mean, you're going to be like, wow, I don't feel as amazing, or I don't feel as wonderful, or I'm not as calm, but there's no negative from not taking it. Um, so yeah, it's, say things are going great and then something triggers you at 5 p.m. and you're like, you go into, panic attack or anxiety, or you start feeling sadness. You can go to your extract tincture and take a few drops, put it in just a little bit of water, and it's usually about 10 to 15 minutes. People, I don't know, valerian people say that they almost feel it immediately. Because with the tincture in the water, it gets right into your system quickly. There's no waiting. With like pharmaceutical pills, you have to, they say take them for, what is it, like 2 weeks before you'll start feeling any
Long,
results from them. That's not how it
long.
works with plants. Yeah, that's not how it works. And the good news is with these two is, springtime rolls around and you're not feeling upset anymore. You can quit these without any negative repercussions from it. You're not going to send your body into complete shock because you don't need it anymore. Um, so
Mhm.
that's what I have.
Okay.
I think that's, I covered all the plants. Yeah.
Okay. So, if someone wanted, or if someone is dealing with the seasonal depression, right? How
Mm.
would they know what to get from you? It's like them meeting with you, and then you find out what their symptoms are, and then you would know.
Yeah. I ask them, like, explain it to me a little bit. I'll be like, tell me about it. Tell me a little more about it. What is the, what are some of your struggles, and with that, then knowing how each plant works, um, I make a suggestion, and then they either agree to it or change their mind. It just, but yeah, because like I said, I have a list here of plants that help with that. But um, me speaking with you helps me know which one will work best.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
because some
Go ahead.
some people have panic attacks, and so they I would that was like a more of a valerian kind of thing, whereas some people are just like it's an occasional and it's more of a sadness and I'm tired all the time. Then I would know that blue vervain is more suiting for them.
Okay,
I
gotcha.
recommend everybody take lion's mane. I really do. Um I just think everybody would do great on lion's mane. The
And
the,
tell
the
me again
brain
about
improvement.
the lion's
It's in a
mane.
yeah, lion's mane mushroom, it's no tropic. It rebuilds your brain. It um I don't know why I just wait bring that on myself and I use it. It's going to help with your focus, your memory, your mood, and your sadness. I have seen people who would cry all day, every day over almost everything, And after 3 months of lion's mane, they had said, they found it hard to cry, which, we don't want to close off all of our emotions, but that was significant, and that was amazing to take somebody who was just always in a deep state of sadness and make them where they can tolerate life. They're not that no longer
Mhm.
desire to hurt themselves, you know.
Mhm.
Um, so
Okay. Um, is lion's mane in the triple mushroom tincture that you said?
no, it's not. The triple is chaga, reishi, and turkey tail. Lion's mane, um, it's I I don't believe in blending that one. I don't know how to put it. That one should just be taken full strength. But a lot of companies do mix lion's mane with all their mushroom blends, but I don't feel like you're getting enough of it. It's too diluted down. It's like you'd have to use their product for an entire year before you actually feel the benefits of it. So
Oh,
I keep lion's mane separate.
okay.
Another one, like, so Rishi's in the triple mushroom, but for like my menopausal women over 50, people who deal with hormonal issues, that's why they're using like certain birth controls to try to balance. Using Rishi on its own is beneficial as well. Um, Now chaga, the only reason that using that singly is diabetics, because it's really good at lowering blood sugar. But turkey tail, um, for people who have extremely severe stomach issues and because it's immunomodulating, or my cancer patients, they use the turkey tail. But when you combine those three, that's more of it's creating an energy, like an all natural energy drink, basically, when you combine those three. So lion's mane I keep out of it, and I just like to use it because you see results quicker that way, within two
Okay.
weeks. So
Okay. Shiante asks, where do you plant in the winter time?
um I have a few indoor greenhouses, but I don't really you know have a lot of growing living in Michigan. So I have everything all summer long, and then I harvest enough and I make enough to last me until next season. So,
Oh,
but now see
okay.
the mushrooms, I have a controlled a tent, a controlled environment that they grow, so I can grow the mushrooms all year. But as far as the plants, I have to just make sure I grow enough during the summer and harvest enough to make sure I have enough for everybody.
Okay. I think you had a video of this lady who was in the woods and she saw the mushrooms or something and
Oh
she
yeah,
was, can you
the
eat
turkey
them?
tail.
You can eat them?
You can eat those, aren't really, tasty. Those are more medicinal. Um, but those turkey tail that she found, yes, those such an amazing mushroom, especially for those that are with autoimmune diseases and cancer. The polysaccharides and the beta glucans in them are so rich that it just I I have seriously changed a lot of people's lives with turkey tail. Um,
Mm,
but yeah, it's not a choice edible. There's other like lion's mane. That one I would say is more of an edible mushroom than turkey tail, because
okay.
a lot of people will chop it up and make like crab burgers out of it or something, but kind of wasting it in my opinion. But um, yeah, that one's more edible.
Okay. Uh, Lisa
And I,
said,
and I don't recommend I don't recommend psychedelics, since we're talking about mushrooms and mental health, because I know that right now there are a lot of people out there discussing how um, the psychedelic mushrooms and microdosing, and it might seem like a good idea for some, but I don't recommend it, and I suggest that you find alternative sources, because the numbers just don't look good to me. The percentage of people that it actually helps. And here's the problem with that, because if it doesn't help you, it's not that it doesn't help you. It can cause some severe negative side effects within your brain and kind of make you like super crazy. So Seek alternative sources before psychedelic mushrooms, please.
Gotcha. Are those psychedelic mushrooms found like in the woods as well?
Yeah, like, and that's the scariest part because then, it's like, what do they s the TikTok fads, somebody goes out and does it, so then everybody else wants to go out, "Oh, let me follow people." So yeah, they've been, like, finding amanitas in the woods and using them, and first of all, processing and just stay away. That's I'm just gonna keep it real short, just stay away. Just stop following TikTok trends, okay? That's gonna make you depressed, first of all, because, you know, comparing your life to others, um, you shouldn't, we're all very unique and to each our own. So, but, don't eat mushrooms. Don't eat wild mushrooms.
So Shiante said, like, how do you know the difference, right? How do you know if it's a psychedelic versus the turkey tail? Because there's so many different. I'm not really a woods person, but like I have seen different mushrooms grow. Even I live in Chicago. They grow up through my grass sometimes. And I'm like, I don't even have a clue what this is. How do you know?
Um, Actually, I don't really recommend too many people going out and messing with the mushrooms. There's over 1 million species, and we've yet to really, identify, and we're poorly educated
Mm.
considering, um, a lot of other things. So always seek professionals. There's lots of mushroom ID groups. If you find one, um, if you're wandering the woods, and, definitely, you gotta take pictures of the tops, the sides, the bottoms, the stems. It's There's so much to know. I don't really recommend a lot of people going out there and just foraging mushrooms. I
Yeah.
mean, turkey tails are kind of in lion's manes. There's like chicken of the woods, hen of the woods. Some of those are, there's no lookalike, so they're easier to identify. But there's so many that do have lookalikes that are toxic and poisonous that just leave it to the professionals. Um, you can buy, kits to grow if you wanted to grow your own lion's mane and to make your own, double extraction. That is, you can do that. But that then you're sourcing from something that's actually making it, so you know that that's what it is, not just, I randomly picking mushrooms out of the woods.
So we just stick with Mandy. That's what Shiante said. Which
Well,
Lisa said, please stay away from the wild mushrooms.
yeah. Thank you, Lisa. Yes, because, yeah, again, there's just so many toxic lookalikes that, like the death angel that grows out back in my woods, it's so beautiful. But, just, one bite and, death angel, you know, you're matter of fact, when I brought it in the house to do some photo work with it,
Mm.
my my husband became very petrified and wondered what I was doing. And said, "Just research, honey, just research. Don't worry."
Wow.
So, um, you're safe touching them, but you don't want to eat any.
Okay.
Um, just stick with the mushrooms that we know are safe.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So if anyone, has and is dealing with, I would say the sad depression, the major depressive disorder, the seasonal pattern uh, disorder, what would you say for them? How can they contact you?
Just, well, to speak with me personally so they know the best choice, just reach out to me. Just send me a message. If you join my group, Wildcrafted Creations LLC, I've got
Let me make a banner for it.
a little, dragonfly as my banner for my business. And then, just tap on my little photo. It says Mandy because I make the posts. And then it should give you the option to send me a message. And, I check my spam folders and my other folders. So um, if it doesn't,
It's wildcraft
Wildcrafted Creations LLC.
creation.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, just send me a
And
message and then just say, hey, help me out. And as soon as I have some time, I will jump on there and discuss with you, what you're dealing with, and um, because it makes a difference, like what's going on with you personally, what's going to help the best. Um, so, but everybody needs to go and like today and choose wisely. Definitely something. I wish I should have done some research on vitamin D supplements. I like the Now brand. You know, they're trusted, and if you probably seen a lot of the pharmaceutical medications own all the natural supplements and vitamins that you find at like Walmart per se. Um, and so I don't know, they're just not, they've done tests on them and studies, and there's not, it says 5,000, but when they tested them, it was like only had like 2% of it really in there. So it's really important to find a quality vitamin supplement. Um, High D, you definitely want some high vitamin D. Um, and
you
start that
suggest
as soon as possible.
you suggest
But
what brand for vitamin D?
now, 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 like do it now, like
Okay.
Now brand. Now, yeah. Um, then another one is Nature's Sunshine. I don't know if they make a vitamin D. But I like that brand.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, as soon as and then magnesium is another one that we don't I don't did I just say it? I think I said it. But vitamin D and magnesium are definitely two that we need to start getting in our systems now before it gets gloomier, because that's what it's outside my door today. Everything's covered in snow, and
Mm.
um it's chilly, and when
Hmm.
get off of here, I got to go work outside. And even though it is cold and chilly, even like just getting outside, there's just so much that we can do for ourselves.
Hmm.
We don't have to be miserable during this time of year. Um,
Hmm.
I really reaching out to somebody, finding somebody during this time of year to speak to, whether it be a professional or a friend. Definitely recommend a professional. Um, the better off we're going to be, and then we're all going to make it through this season. We're going to be okay. We're
Hmm.
not going to be okay.
Okay. Shiante asked, are all of these safe for children? So I guess everything that you discussed, right? All of the turkey tail and all that stuff. Is it safe for children?
Um, I don't I don't like to use under the age of 12. Um, unless their body weight's over 100 pounds. That's and then I do have teas that are available where they don't have to use alcohol extracts. And then there are ways that you just heat up some water. And so it depends what plants you're referring to. Um, I don't like to use mushrooms on children. There could be an allergy. But have my Be Protected and my Usnea that children use 5 years and above, so they don't get sick. So it really depends. So if you have a question like that, just reach out to me and ask me. And like if you want your child to use something, we can make a lemon balm tea. Um, there are some that I don't have available, but I do have some tea formulas that'll be safe for children.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, you all. So you have heard it from Mandy Broadhead, the practice clinical herbalist, right? So if you want to go the natural route, and Mandy talked about something earlier, like discussing getting someone, first of all, a friend is good, but I would say a friend sometimes doesn't have the knowledge, that a therapist may have, or somebody like Mandy may have, you know. And so, it may be that it's time to invest in yourself. If you're seeing some of these symptoms, especially during this time of the year, is just go ahead and get yourself assessed just to see what it is that can be helpful for you. One thing about it, if you have a good therapist, friend, practicing clinical herbalist, they're not going to steer you wrong, right? If it's somebody who is in the helping field, who is really in it to help, they're not going to steer you wrong. They're going to be there to listen, uh, unjudgmentally, if that's even a word, but to help you to
Mhm. It
what
is.
is that you need, right? And so it doesn't hurt to reach out to someone who can help you, right? This is a good time for us all as we are entering into the new year as well, right? There's things that come up for us. We want to make sure that we're not carrying some things over into the new year. So this is a good time to start seeking
Mhm.
a professional, to seek someone who can help you to achieve your goals internally, bodily, all different ways, right? Mentally, just in all ways of your life. Okay. Um, anything you want to leave us? Let me see. Let me see what they're saying. Okay, so Shiante says she's going to do research on the magnesium and the vitamin D. And then she said therapy and plants. Yeah, therapy and plants. We talked about so many different techniques that you can use. Getting out, even though it is dreary outside, getting outside, that fresh air. Because in the house it's stuffy, and you
Mhm.
got.
Oh no,
So
I
yeah,
lost her.
you want to leave us with any words of wisdom, and then I'm going to close in prayer. Any words of wisdom from Mandy?
You're not alone, and
Mm,
we're here to help you, and we love you. And
mm,
so seek us, seek
mm.
God, and we'll all come together and work something out for you. It'll be
Absolutely.
okay.
Yes. I'm going to put your Wild Crafted Creations in the bio. So if you all
Okay.
did get her information, Mandy's information, it will be linked in, when you go to look at the event, you can see it. It'll be linked in there. You also can reach me as well. My information is there. I am a licensed therapist and I am here to help. So feel free to reach out, set an appointment, and let's get started. Okay. So thank you all for coming on. We're going to close in prayer because with God, all things are possible.
That's
That's
right.
that's just the bottom line, right? Like me and Mandy work because God works through us. We're able to
That's right.
help you because he gives us the strength, direction, guidance. He gives us more insight into how we can help you all to heal. Because I say I'm a kingdom therapist, which focuses on healing and making you whole, not just getting you through, oh, I have anxiety. No, it's the wholeness of the self. And so that's
Right.
what that's how I work as a therapist. All right. So we're going to close with prayer. Let me put my prayer banner up there. Thank you all again for coming on. This was a great show, great talk. I love all the information, and hopefully, you all got some great nuggets and will be, adhering to some of the things that we talked about. Okay. So, Lord, we just thank you. We thank you and honor you, God, because you are worthy. We thank you for all that you have already done for us, God. We just continue to lift you up, God, above every situation and circumstance. We know that during this time of the year, this season, God, a lot of people have lost loved ones, God. And so I just pray over those who have lost loved ones and are still really processing that thing and maybe having a difficult time processing the loss of their loved one, God. I just pray over them that you will comfort them and keep them, God. Direct their steps, God. Send the right people towards them, God, so that they can heal through this process, Lord. I just thank you for your wisdom, God. I thank you for Mandy, who has come on to discuss some of these healthy herbal ways of being able to heal. We don't have to take pharmaceuticals, Lord. I just thank you that the earth, you created the earth, and the earth will yield everything that we need for our bodies, minds, our spirits, God, everything, every aspect of us, God. You're so divine that you created it that way, God. And so I thank you for that. I just pray, God, that you will continue, God, to bless each and every one of us, each and every one who is on the live, each and every one who will come and watch the live at a later date, God. Send and lead them to the right pathways, the right directions, God, the right people, God. I just thank you for all that you have done for us, all you continue to do for us, Lord, your many blessings. Thank you for this season, God, this season where we can serve others, God. It's about serving and giving, God. And so I just thank you that you gave your life for us. And so it's in Jesus' name that I pray. Amen and amen.
Amen.
All right. Well, thank you again for coming on.
Thank you
And
for having me.
yes, I will see you soon. I will definitely link your information down there. Okay.
Thank
Have a
you.
great rest of your day, every single one of you. And I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.